Okay guys, I'm going to do a video of me upcycling this jacket that I thrifted a few years ago and I haven't done anything with it. So now I would like to add things on the bottom, which is this lace tablecloth with pearly little beads on, and I think that would be very nice. And maybe this fabric, I'm not sure, some laces and buttons which I will sew on after. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I was thinking about the pockets, which I'm not going to cut and crop the jacket. I wanted to keep the pockets, so I want to put the pockets here. Then I want to put this lace at the bottom, and maybe this over the top of some of the pockets, or maybe laces just in those bits. I'm not sure, but like everybody says, upcycling can go many ways. You can have an idea and then suddenly think, yuck, I hate that. But anyway, what I want to do right now is cut this, and I'm going to cut it long ways, and I'm going to cut off a certain amount and try to follow the lines where the points are as much as I can. So I'm thinking probably about 8 to 10 inches maybe, and then I want to put that around the bottom. So I'll come back after I've cut this and we'll go from there. Okay guys, I'm going to cut this off, and I'm liking it. I kind of cut up above these beads, which I might have to take some of them off because I don't want them to go underneath the sewing machine. And when I've done that, I will pin this at the bottom of the jacket along here, like this, and gather it up. It might be a little bit too long, yes, long. And I don't want a big gather. I want a gather, but not a huge one. So I might cut off this end here and turn it over, and then gather what I want and then cut it off here. So I'm gonna do that. I'm not going to pin it. I'm just going to sew and pleat it along until I'm satisfied that that's the kind of pleat that I want at the bottom. And then I'll come back and show you guys how it's looking. Okay. Okay guys, I have sewn this on the bottom, and I'm going to cut this bit off here, probably about there in case I measured wrong, and I have this much left. And I'm going to tuck these pieces under and sew them down. Now I have sewn with a green kind of colored cotton, but I can see it, and I think I might, if I can find some green lace with all of my stash, I might put some lace along there, or I'll just leave it like that. But I'm liking how it's looking so far, and I want the long line jacket, and I sewed up a little bit so that it kind of looks like a flap thing there, but it's looking pretty. Yeah, I'm liking it. It's looking quite nice. Okay, so next I've just sewing those bits down, I will come in here and I think I might put one patch of this, and in the pocket and sew that on, and then I'll come back. So I'm going to cut this out in the shape of the pocket and sew it on, and then I'll come back, guys. Okay guys, I thought I'd just show this little piece here. I just quickly cut this and I'm going to lay it over the top of the pocket and just zigzag around. And now I want it that when it's washed, I want it to fray a little because I really like the tattered and frayed look. I like lots of different styles, but I do like a little bit of fraying. So I'm going to go and sew this on with a zigzag stitch, and then I'll come back. Oh, and I'll sew these down too. I'll be back. Okay guys, here it is again, and I'm sewing on the pocket, but I haven't gone along here. So what I want to do is hand sew this down and maybe sew a few buttons along here as decoration. And so I'm sewing down these, I zigzag these, zigzagged around here, and now I am thinking, hopefully everybody can see this, I am thinking that I might put a little lace on this pocket, or maybe I'll put a little bit around the sleeve there. I don't know, no, I just think it's too thing. I'll try the brown. Not in colour, not the way I want it to be. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I will put a little bit of lace here on the top of this pocket, so I'll have to hand sew that on probably. No, I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that at all. Okay. Alright, I got some more lace. Let's see what this one looks like. Maybe I can put a little bit here, but not quite at the top. Maybe more in there. Yeah, okay, I'm liking that one. That's looking a little better. So this one here, I will hand sew and a couple little buttons and a couple little buttons. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I'll come back and see how it goes. Okay then guys. Okay guys, I'm back, but I haven't sewn these things on. I've had a few ideas off camera, and I cut a strip and I want to sew this around the sleeve and this on the pocket here, this little bit of trim here, another piece here on this one, and I will also put buttons. So I'll put buttons here, buttons here, buttons here, but not on here. So I'll go and do all of that. So it's sewing, and buttons. Okay, I'll be back soon. Okay guys, I'm back again, and I have sewing on the patch thing on the sleeve, this on the pocket with a few buttons, this on the other pocket at the top, a few buttons and sewed along the top here, and then of course on the other sleeve another patch with the buttons. But now I'm also thinking, do I want to do some lace around here just to hide the zigzag, or just leave it because it really doesn't matter? And do I want to put something on the back in this area here, not all over the back? I feel like that's just too much. Maybe a little bit more of this in the back, maybe. No, I feel like that's too much of that. Maybe I need to go from my stash find some different kind of laces. I might have a little look and see what I can find, and I'll come back in a few minutes, and well, it won't be a few minutes for you, but I'll be back soon. Okay guys, I'm back again. Right, I did get some lace and I put some here and I've sewn it on already. Hopefully you can see that, but I zigzagged that on there and there. But now I am thinking, do I want to add more? Will it be too busy with too many things, or should I just leave it there? If you know me, when I like to things, I like to layer lots of clothing, and then I just get carried away. Should I stick this on that seam that I hate, or just do one more zigzag line over the top of this? Maybe just put this on here. Do you think that would? No, I feel like it's just too much. I feel like I'll do one more line and then I'll try it on. I'll put it on the mannequin and I'll try it on for you so you can see what it looks like. And if I feel like it needs something else after that, then I will add some more things, but you probably won't see because I probably would have just added it. But here, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, I'm not going to put nothing else. I think I'll just do a zigzag over the top of this line here, and that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So it's got that there on the sleeves, that on the pocket, this around the bottom, this on the collar bit, and then a little bit at the back, which I didn't want to go overboard at the back because you don't want to be sitting against something and all these things are sticking into you. So yeah, I think this is pretty good and I'm quite happy with it. So I'll come back with it on and the mannequin, and I'll see you later, guys. And thanks for everybody that is watching this. I want to thank you, and this will be for sale on my Trade Me, and I live in New Zealand, so it's Trade Me New Zealand. I was thinking about sticking it on Etsy, but I can't get into my account because I don't know what I did and now I can't sign in. So anyway, I'm just going to list it on Trade Me. But if there's anyone from overseas is interested, they're more than welcome to give me a message and we can work something out if you want. If not, then thanks for watching. See you later, guys.